Hello, love. Welcome. I am bringing on Celeste Rose, where we will be talking about Celeste's chosen path and our time together today. My intention of bringing on these soulmate clients that I just absolutely love working with is to showcase them so that way you know that there are people living their chosen path. They are excelling in life. They are connecting with community. The ripple effect is happening, and then you can connect with Celeste in her group and in person or however you want to connect with her. Let's just dive in. We're just going to have a chat. Of course, it's quote unquote public in the Woman Up a Spiritual community, but let's have an intimate conversation that you guys get to peep in on. If you have questions, there is like in the chat, I cannot see like your name. All it says is Facebook user. So after Celeste and my conversation, if we will both go back into the group and answer any questions that you have or comment on anything. So welcome, Celeste.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for bringing it to my attention that this would be a good idea. Celeste is always full of great ideas. You always have these great ideas. And we were having a conversation on Friday, right? And I had the idea to interview one of my clients who I thought people would enjoy her story. And then Celeste is like, why don't you just interview others as well? And I was like, that's a good idea. I will do it. So here we are a couple days later. And you guys get to meet Jamie on Friday. So this is Celeste. And my intention is for everyone to see that it's attainable, it's possible. There's bumps and bruises along the way, and just hear your process. So why did you want to know your chosen path in the first place?
Well, I think what really started it off is that I had started my own business in March of last year, and I started a coaching business, and I wanted to help women feel worthy. And that was something that was even a foreign concept to me because I didn't feel worthy of doing that work. And I also knew that I had a very strong spiritual connection that I had been avoiding or suppressing. And I had an interaction or a couple of interactions with you through Fem City and thought this lady can really, she's a little woo woo, but she can really help me connect with my intuition. And the funny thing is, and I was talking about this to one of your other clients as well, because we connected outside of working with you. And I said that when I signed up to work with Sarah, it wasn't like, fuck yeah, excuse me. It wasn't like, hell yeah, I want to work with Sarah. It was more like, oh, I don't want to do this, but I know that she can help me. Like, I just felt compelled to work with you. And I know I've told you that before, that it was like begrudgingly, like, okay, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And so that's why initially I signed up to work with you.
Cool. And it's so funny because they do like come in kicking and screaming. And it's not even because like I'm dragging you in there. It's just
it's something. Like my soul was like, you need to work with Sarah. Yeah.
And I have the same thing, when Spirit's telling me things to do and I'm like, no, I'm good. And Spirit's like, no, really, you need to do this. And I'm like, I'm good. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I think I had been avoiding that, not avoiding working with you, but avoiding connecting with my intuition and really embodying my soul for like 38 years. And I finally realized I got to do this.
So this is not part of what I even was going to chat about, but what was that like? Like ignoring that nudge to listen to your intuition. I mean, I know that's a loaded question, but
at first I want to just preface my response by saying that as I was going through and kind of reflecting on where I was when I decided to work with you, a lot came up. Because I wasn't in a good place. And I wasn't in a place where I was able to listen. What it felt like to ignore my guidance and my intuition felt isolated, alone. And it was really hard. It was like trying to walk through life wearing like in a Michelin Man costume, where I'm just like, oh, like every single step was so hard. And I knew like there had to be an easier way. This can't be what life is like. It has to be easier. So, yeah, I wanted to lift the burden, and I didn't know how, but I knew that it had to be possible because you were over there across the room, just freaking radiant and beautiful, and just had this love just streaming out of you. And I wanted that.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that, because I need to, like, Spirit has shown me, and I do it more so. But even I mean, I'm still human. So it's like I have to remind myself, like, it's okay. And I think it's okay, like, by me saying it's okay, it gives other people permission to be okay. But I mean, I prided myself on being a strong, independent woman for so long that when I just radiate love, I thought that would be a weakness, and that people would like pounce on it and try to destroy it. And I realized, no, by standing in my power, I'm even more powerful. And then that love is what draws people in. Like, honestly, what you just said, like how it just, like it radiated, like, it was like, I want that. That's literally, I have that on my website because I've heard it so much. And so when people try to say, put together some sort of marketing plan for me, and they want to know like what I'm like, I don't know how I get clients. Like, I know there should be some sort of formula, and I'm getting like with the group and having different presentations and schedule things out. So like humanly, it looks a little bit more logical. But quite frankly, even doing all those strategic things, people are just saying, which like, you're across the room and I felt you and I just knew I needed to work with. Like, and that's the way it's been for 8 years. So it's like,
my first Femme City gathering, and I showed up late because I didn't know for sure if I was even going to go that morning. And got there and felt completely out of place and uncomfortable, and then looked over and saw you, and I just walked up and struck up a conversation and said, "Hi, I'm Celeste. Who are you?" And I didn't know why. And I think that obviously Spirit was working through me even when I wasn't aware of it, and even when I wasn't aware that I was listening, and that I was already on my path. And I just needed some help.
And I felt compelled to just be super honest with you during that first meeting, because I heard you were introducing yourself, and I saw myself in you, because I used to be like, what's the proper way to introduce myself? I'm a success coach. I help people spark their life. I mean, I said this shit for like years, and I'm like, like, I'm a personal success coach. And I like tried to like fit into the norm. And I heard you doing that. And I'm like, this is not her jam. This is not why she's actually here. And I don't tap into people like without their permission. I've learned that the hard way. I've got an itch, sorry. And I just was trying to be honest with you and being like, like, I like if there's something that you really want to be doing and not this like consulting stuff, like do that. Don't waste all the years and like think that you have to fit into some mold. But yeah.
Well, and my business name was Watson Consulting Group, because I was trying to come up with something that sounded professional, and that didn't align with the type of work that my soul was calling me to do. And so I'm currently going through a rebranding with my business name and with everything that more aligns with my soul's purpose. So I'm really excited to launch that. That's coming up in a month or two. So yeah,
yay!
Be awesome.
Well, keep us posted on that. I mean, Celeste Rose, do you want to take us a little bit of that? Do you want to share? Because it was
Watson. I changed my last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Watson was actually my married name, and I've been divorced for 9 years. And when I went through my divorce, um, I had the opportunity to change my name, but I never felt, just because of my past, I never felt really any sort of sentimental connection with my maiden name or my adopted name. I just didn't feel, and I wasn't like adopted, but my stepdad, we went by his name. And I just didn't feel a connection to that. And so it was it was symbolic of me releasing the past and releasing the old me and embracing the new me as I move forward on my path of love. And rose is, it's funny, I didn't used to like the smell of rose. I got some rose oil when I signed up, for all the woo woo things. And I didn't like the fragrance of it. And then the more I used it, the more I just fell in love with it. And it was almost like it was triggering this vibration of love that I wasn't comfortable with. And so I was like, ooh, I don't like that. And now I'm thinking I'm just gonna like rub it all over my body because it's my vibration, right? Of love. And so that's what I chose for my new last name.
So when I finally did channel your chosen path, because for those who are listening, Celeste and I work together one-on-one. So that looks a little bit different than um, jumping right in and me channeling your chosen path. It was a few months in because there were some things that needed to be released and forgiven and
Yeah.
all the fun things before we jump right into that. But once I did channel your chosen path, what was your first reaction, if you remember?
Yeah, you're right, because I was nowhere even near being ready to listen to my
Mm-hmm.
chosen path when we first started working together. And when you did channel that for me, as working together, I kind of had what I would call a spiritual awakening. And
For sure. And
was,
immediately, like it was like, whoa.
yeah, and I was like, what the heck just happened? And realizing that there was all this like wisdom and intelligence and love and connectedness that I could draw on. I was meditating a lot and having a lot of awarenesses. And so I kind of had a little bit of an inkling of what it was that I was going to be doing, but I didn't really have the words to understand what it was. And so
Yeah, what were those words? Because once I channel, I forget. So what is your chosen path?
So, what you shared with me is that I was going to help people see themselves outside of their physical bodies
Okay.
in a way of understanding that their bodies are the vessel for their human experience and worthy of love, but they are so much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding that when you are so much more and you are just unbridled love and like I don't know, like I'm getting goosebumps even talking about it or thinking about it, but when you understand who you are, then your body becomes a completely different experience
Mm-hmm.
and the relationship completely changes because you're no longer looking at your body as the source of your pain or as the source of your unworthiness.
Mm-hmm.
You will look at your body as the vehicle in which you get to live this life and have these amazing experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's basically when you shared that with me, I added a little bit, right? As my
Yeah.
intuition and my connection with spirit grew.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, when you first shared it with me, I was like, yep, that makes sense.
And why did it make sense? Because others who have not had me channel their chosen path, but those who have had me channel their chosen path, everybody says, well, it just makes sense. Why does it make sense?
It makes sense because I honestly believe, and I don't know if this is the case for everybody, but this has been my experience that my chosen path was what I needed to learn how to do so that I could then help other people. And if you had told me my chosen path was some random obscure thing that I never had any experience with, I would be like, oh, that's kind of strange. That doesn't really resonate.
But
But
more than likely, you struggled with your body and
Yeah,
loving yourself.
our first coaching session, you said normally I don't start our coaching sessions like this, but Spirit has a message for you. You need to learn to love your body. And immediately, as you can tell, I'm an emotional person and I feel a lot. But immediately, it was like you were speaking to my soul. And I was just like,
It's because your soul was actually speaking. That's what happened. Like,
my soul was speaking to me through you. And I think that's why it was so, it was like this recognition of truth.
Mm-hmm.
And like an unavoidable, undisputable truth.
And you still went about fighting and kicking.
And I still was fighting because knowing what your chosen path is and believing that you are capable of living your chosen path are two different things. And I believe that it took me a while before I believed that I could do that. Because even though I knew that I was to help people see themselves outside of their physical body, I couldn't see myself. I still didn't see myself outside of this flesh and blood vessel. Like I didn't see that. So it was hard for me to conceptualize what that would actually look like. Mm-hmm. And so after we worked together, because I think I told you before, like if I actually had done all the homework, done all the things that you asked me to do and was consistent with it, I think I would have grown into this where I am today so much more quickly. But there was so much resistance there that I fought it the entire way. Yeah. And as we were talking about on Friday, I will be like meditating or journaling or something, and I'll be like, oh, that's what Sarah was talking about. And like I think
I love it.
Maybe I wasn't, and if I'll share this, I was vibrating at the level of my trauma when we were working together in the beginning. And because I was vibrating at that level, I wasn't able to hear. My heart wasn't able to hear what was being shared in a way that I was able to actually integrate it into my life. Mm-hmm. But all of it's up here, and I
know, and
it seems like I bring it a little bit down and a little bit down and a little bit down.
And I think Spirit has shown you this, but I remember Spirit sharing like needing to elevate above this trauma, and then that's when the healing is taking place.
Well, yeah, because I thought, man, like how am I going to work through all this crap? Like I felt like I had to work through all of this stuff before I could help other people. Yeah. And I had to like learn to love my body, but I had this weird idea that like when I loved my body, it would lose weight. Like, and so I still had it tied to my weight. And somehow like once I reach this goal weight or once I look a certain way, then people will be like, oh, she loves her body. I bet she can help me love my body. And it was not about that at all. It was about, again, elevating above the trauma and coming from a place of love and acceptance and appreciation for my body. And since then, my body has completely shifted. I got rid of my scale. I don't know what I weigh, and I don't care what I weigh because I'm focused on how I feel. Mm-hmm. And that has been such a major shift for me. And it's been so exciting. Yeah.
So you touched upon this. At the time that you received your chosen path and you finally, did it feel attainable or unattainable? I think you touched upon this, but I just wanted to make sure.
It was like looking at a map with like the treasure, but there's no map. It's just the treasure is right here and no path to get, like no instruction or direction on how to get there. I mean, you gave me, or my soul gave me a ton of instruction, but I was like, I don't know what it was that I wasn't listening to that part. I'm probably not like your ideal client. I don't know, because you're like, why won't Celeste just do what I ask her to do? Like, what is her problem?
It is. I mean, yes and no. So I liked working with you because you elevated really quickly. You were open to information. And there were just things that you had to work through. But overall, I mean, I've had many different types of clients, and we don't need to get into those that I don't like and those that I do like. But you're living your chosen path now. And that's my focus is, yes, I give you how to live your chosen path, but it's really up to you to like implement that. And I think that that's key. I mean, it took even 4 months after we were done working together for you to grasp it and continue on and stuff.
Well, I think part of it is that I was expecting that it would be hard. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so this is what I'm
So
supposed to do,
that's a
but I
good
have
point.
to like strive and struggle to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that me just surrendering and allowing myself to be healed and
Yeah.
just deciding to love myself and take care of myself seemed like, well, that sounds just too good to be true.
And
So it didn't seem like it would
yeah.
work.
Yep. I'm so glad that you brought that up because that is so key. I don't know how many times I hear. I mean, even when it's like how to listen to your divine guidance, and there's 5 steps: allow, ask, receive, trust, act. And there are people who are master meditators, and they have done through all of these courses and gone to all these different places, and they're like, I still can't listen, but your process is so simple. Like, why is it so simple? And you can just, I've heard it all. And it's like, because it's supposed to be that simple. Like, spirit, the universe is like, ask and you shall receive. Whatever you
But
want.
I think I was doing the ask, allow, receive. I wasn't doing the trust or the ask.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing the whole
and you have to do it all and in that order. Like at least that's what Spirit has shared with me. And I mean, I get stumped up too. So I loved working with you. So that's neither here nor there. Okay. But so how are you living your chosen path now?
So I am a body confidence and wellness coach. And I work on helping women learn to love the body that they're in and at the same time create the body that best supports their life. So I think a lot of people think that, oh, well, I have to lose weight before I'm good enough, or before I can do these things, or before people will take me seriously. But that's not the case. You just have to accept your body and love your body and treat it as the valuable tool that it is. And then it will shift and support your mission. But if you are not doing that, it's almost like you and your body are like butting heads or playing this game of tug of war where you want to do one thing and then it wants to do another, and you keep getting pulled back into old thought processes or subconscious conditioning. So I really help women release the subconscious conditioning, learn to love their bodies, and then love their bodies into the highest version of themselves.
Cool. I love it. And if anybody who's listening wants to connect with Celeste, Waiting for Worthiness, which is what I have on the screen, is her Facebook group, a private Facebook group on.
It's a private Facebook group, and I just enjoy supporting the community of women that are learning to love their bodies and learning to accept themselves and embrace a healthy, happy lifestyle.
And you are vulnerable and very open in the group, and so that in itself helps people to create this safe environment for them to be that as well, and then to move forward and that sort of thing. So,
I don't cry that much on my Facebook lives.
It sometimes happens when people start talking about things with me, so it's okay. Anything else that you want to share about your experience working with me, or anything else that you want to share? Whatever.
And I cried when I talked to you about this on Friday because the tears and the emotion that come up right now for me are so different than the emotion I was experiencing a year ago, because now I just feel intense gratitude, and gratitude for my soul being willing to speak through you, but also gratitude for you being willing to be that channel, because it's not always easy saying or speaking the truth. And sometimes I didn't want to hear it. And I'm sure that you have other clients that are like, forget you, Sarah, like I don't want to hear what you have to say. But it's not what I've experienced is not Sarah telling me I need to do X, Y, and Z. It's my soul telling me, I know where you're going and I can help you get there, but you need to listen. And so anybody that's struggling or feeling lost and wanting help or direction, if you're willing, um, Sarah's willing. Well, hopefully
For
she's
sure.
willing.
I am, and that's
Yeah.
why I asked certain clients to share their message, share their chosen path, share their experience working with me. My goal this year is for 100 people, men and women, to be living their chosen path, because what I realized was that now you are helping women and men, maybe, I don't know if it's just women, but women and men.
Someday I plan on helping men. Right now, just women.
Okay,
Starting, yeah.
so you're helping women though with their body image, with their confidence, with their love and trust. So it's like it's that ripple effect that I truly want to see, and the impact. It's not just I want to be making X amount of money. Like a lot of business coaches
Yeah.
have worked with me and been like, oh, you need to have this goal. No, I want to see the impact. I want to truly have people living their chosen path. And I have this gift and I am here to use it and I'm here to guide people. So thank
And
you for
I just
sharing.
have
And
one more thing that I
oh,
wanted
yay.
to share.
Oh, thank you.
So while you share and you told me my chosen path, you also helped teach me how to connect with my guidance and with spirit on my own. So it's not like I work with you for 6 months or 12 weeks or whatever, and you tell me all the things to do, and I go and I'm on my own. You
Yeah.
help,
See ya.
yeah, right. You help facilitate that connection, because we all have that. We
Yes.
all have a soul that wants us to live our chosen path.
Yeah.
And when we can connect with that and we learn to listen to that intuition and not fight every single thing and just go with the flow, life becomes so much easier and the burden is lifted. And yeah, like I don't know. I don't think that I ever expected that I could feel this happy and fulfilled in my life, and like without reaching my goal weight, or without like having a super successful business, or without all the things that I tied to feeling that way. So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, yeah, I'm just so
That's
grateful.
and that's so far from where you were when you started. That is just so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
You're
And
welcome.
thanks for agreeing to share yourself. And I sure hope that others connect with you and join your group and work with you, and you impact 100 people this year, like,
Yeah.
or more, whatever,
Yeah.
it just keeps going on and on. So yeah. And yeah, thanks for sharing about the listening to divine guidance, because that's literally like how you live your chosen path, is you just keep tapping in, and because I'm not here to just channel and like hold hands with people along the way. Like I want you all to be adult souls and go on your path. I got my own children to wipe their butts, so I don't need all these other people to be doing that
Yeah.
too. You all
Yeah.
can just, do your own thing, and
And
yeah, you do have a guide.
it's so empowering to know that we can. It's so empowering to know that I can. That like
Yeah.
if I'm having a bad day or something's not going the way that I wanted it to, I I check in and I listen and I calm myself and I release resistance to whatever is happening. And then the guidance that I get or just the awarenesses that come, it just flows effortlessly. So, yeah, it's a totally
Awesome.
different way of living.
For sure. Yeah. And it's I think it's positively impacted every area of your life. I mean, like your relationships and that
Oh
sort of
man.
thing.
Yeah. When we
That's
didn't talk about that, but
yeah.
I mean, we talked about my relationship a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't in a place I couldn't love myself. And so it was difficult for me to let other people love me. And so I just had this big old energetic wall and physical wall. I had put on quite a bit of weight that separated me from my significant other.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a physical manifestation of the energetics, like space that I was trying to create because of the way that I was feeling. So my relationship with him was not going well. My relationship with my family was not going well because I was struggling a lot and using alcohol as a way to cope. And I
Yeah.
didn't know that if I was going to mention this, but when I was thinking back, it was about a year ago that my sister kicked me out of her house because I had too much to drink at her graduation. And that is humiliating to say on Facebook Live. But guess what? That's where I was. And it doesn't matter where you are right now, it doesn't matter how dark things feel. All you have to do is make the choice to live a different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
And you
yeah,
and you
that's
have. I
that.
mean, you completely do. I mean, now you don't drink too much. And
No.
I haven't seen you I haven't seen you physically, but just from here on up, I can tell like
I have a nook now.
by like loving on yourself, you're looking different. I mean, like
Yeah.
I there is a correlation between the love that you have for yourself, and it's not and I think what you're saying, and this is getting more on your own path, which I didn't want to
Yeah.
like over talk about your thing, but
That's okay.
like I
As you said, I'm open and vulnerable. So
oh but I love like truly if there's a difference between like I'm going to love myself thin and like that's the intention instead of just I'm going to appreciate this body that is beautiful and I'm going to love on myself right where I am.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden the body is like, oh, she's not a total B. Maybe I will work for her.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
or I was explaining last week during one of the like day 2, I think it was, of the 3-day masterclass. I had this image of our souls being the parent and our mind and body being the unruly children, and then the body, like the soul's like, come on, and also like if the body is over here being like, no, I'm not going to cooperate, and the soul's over here going, I'm going to put you in timeout.
Yeah.
Instead of like, no, I'm going to love on you. I totally understand. You don't it's not working right now. Let's see what else we can do. And the body's like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, yeah, because like I told you, I had gained weight. It was not a great time in my life. I had gained weight. I was under a lot of stress. Well, probably self-imposed, right? I know now that
Mm-hmm.
I'm much more responsible for my circumstances than I realized. And struggled with digestive, gastrointestinal issues, and just was not, my body was yeah, that child throwing a temper tantrum, screaming in the corner. And I was just, I don't know, I wasn't a loving parent to myself at all. And finally realized that if I wanted to repair the relationship with my body and reconnect with my soul, that I needed to come from a place of love
Mm-hmm.
and gain trust and rebuild that trust. So once my body trusted me to take care of it and to stop punishing it and to stop doing things to it or feeding it or drinking things that it
Yeah.
couldn't use, once my body trusted, okay, well, maybe she does love us, maybe she does love me, that I wouldn't treat it that way. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, that trust is so important.
For sure. In all different areas. So, all right. I won't take any more time. I just wanted to like connect all the dots in my own brain. So thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask Celeste and I. We are here. We are open. This is the group to share it in. So much love to you all.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, loves.